Shalom, shalom, shalom. Right, first and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto the Most High God Yahweh by Shema Mashiach, Wamalak Yahushai. Hey, Lord, willing brothers and sisters are enduring, waxing mightier and mightier through the Spirit, doing all that they can do to make their calling and election sure in these last days. Right, I want to go into a quick little exhortation of remembering that this is your walk. Stay focused on you and not worrying about the distractions around you, not worrying about what this brother's doing or what this sister's doing, but focusing on your walk, making your calling and election sure in these last days. Right, and Lord willing, y'all bear with me, man. I'm a little under the weather, but through the spirit and power, y'all by Shem Shah, we're going to get through this lesson. Right, it's not going to be too long, but we'll kind of hop straight into it. Let's go to the book of Galatians, right, chapter 6. I'm going to start at verse number 4. It says, but let every man prove his own work. So every man has to prove their own self. Prove your own work. Prove why you're in this thing. You have to do it for yourself. This shouldn't be for anybody else, right? It should be first and foremost, it should be for the Lord, right? And for you to be saved, for your household to be saved, right? It shouldn't be for men, right? It shouldn't be to please other people. It shouldn't be to go out there to get yourself a name, right? That should be for the Lord, man, right? It says, but let every man prove his own work, and then shall he have rejoicing in himself alone. Then these things are going to feel fulfilling. Because if you're always striving to please men, right, please women, well, guess what? You're never going to be fulfilled, right? Think about on the worldly saying, like all the movies like Scarface and all the quote unquote drug lord movies. When is it ever enough for them? It's never enough. You can have all the money in the world. You can have all the women. But guess what? It's never enough because you didn't do it for you. You're doing it for everybody else. You're doing it for things that you thought you wanted because of things that you've seen rather than doing it for the Lord. That's where doing things in sincerity comes in at. If you're not doing it sincerely, well, it's never going to feel fulfilling, right? If you're not doing it to honor the Lord, it's never going to feel fulfilling, right? It says, for every man shall bear his own burden, right? So that's what we have to do, is doing this thing, proving ourselves and bearing our own burdens, right? Let me go to the book of Philippians chapter 2. So we have to keep that in mind when we on this walk and not get distracted, right? Stop getting distracted by what other men do, what other sisters do. Focus on yourself and focus on your walk and what you need to do and what's expedient for you, right? This is the book of Philippians chapter 2 and verse number 12. It says, wherefore, my beloved, as ye have always obeyed, not as in my presence only, but now much more in my absence, work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. So you have to work out your own salvation. Somebody else can't do this thing for you, right? You understand that you have to work out your own salvation. You have to make sure what you're doing is right and not just among the congregation, but in the absence, right? When you're at home, when them doors are closed, when them lights are turned off, are you working out your own salvation still, right? This is what this is pertaining to. Not just in front of men, not just pleasing other people, but pleasing the Lord. Then it's going to be rewarding to yourself and to your soul. You're going to feel accomplished, right? Let's hop into the book of Sirach, chapter 11. Slack it. I'm to the book of Sirach, chapter 11, verse number 21. Slack it. It's the book of Sirach, chapter 11, and verse number 21. It says, marvel not at the works of sinners, but trust in the Lord and abide in thy labor. So don't marvel at the works of other people, right? Whether they are righteous or whether they're sinners. You're supposed to be abiding in your labor, focusing on the things that's in front of you, the tasks that you have at hand, not the tasks that other men have, not lots of other men, right? You have to focus on things that the Lord has presently given you. How can you look at what another man is supposed to be doing and get your tasks done, right? You worried about this damn, man, he's an architect, designing buildings. Well, the Lord had you tilling fields. Why are you worried about what this man has going on? It's taken away from what the Lord has given you. And now you're unprofitable and you're doing because you're trying to emulate what somebody else is doing. The Lord didn't give you that lot, right? So let's keep reading on this. It says, marvel not at the works of sinners, but trust in the Lord and abide in thy labor. For it's an easy thing in the sight of the Lord on the sudden to make the poor man rich. Hey, so the Lord can increase you one day to have that zeal as another man has, right? To be on fire as this man is. Because that's what a lot of time it is why other men are focused on other men. They don't have the precepts that this brother has. They don't retain the wisdom that this man has, right? Same thing for the sisters. She may not have a husband. Same thing for the brother. The brother may not have a wife. This brother has 4, right? And guess what it leads to? It leads to coveting. You coveting what another man has. That's why you have to focus on your own walk. Focus on your own work. And be grateful for what the Lord has given you, right? It says, the blessings of the Lord is in the reward of the godly, and suddenly he maketh his blessing flourish. So you don't know when the Lord is going to get that increase. Maybe he may put you on that level one day, but you don't know because you didn't abide in your work. You didn't stay rooted and you didn't stay down, right? It's kind of like that worldly saying, when a man finally come up, and he say, you wasn't down with me. You fled when things got rough. You fled when things got hard, right? You didn't grind it out. What they say, you wasn't shooting with me in the gym. So that's how the Lord looks at it. You didn't stay down and abide in your labor that I've given you. So I can't give you the increase. See how we deny a lot of the things that the Lord is going to give to us because we don't focus on the things that he has presently given us. And we covet the things that he hasn't, right? We covet the wisdom of Solomon. Well, that's not for you right now, brother. What's for you right now is the alms that Tobit gave, right? And you're lacking in that. And everything's just about wisdom. It's about alms. It's about patience, long suffering, and the fruits of the Spirit. Fruits of the Spirit go a long way. You learn how to be patient, right? You learn how to agree with your adversary quickly. You don't have to be a roaring lion everywhere you go, right? Stop being a damn roaring lion in the household, right? You have to overcome certain things before the Lord can give you that increase. You have to stay down, stay diligent, stay humble before the Lord can give you that. Can't be focused on everything else. This thing isn't a multitasking truth. The Lord gives you a certain thing, do your task, do your job. Now, the Lord gives multiple offices to certain men, but that's because they're able to handle it. They're able to do this. They're able to delegate time out. Well, but it's not for you right now. Sisters, that's not for you right now. Right? Maybe in due season or maybe not. It's all up to the Lord, right? Let's get this real quick in the book of Luke, chapter 1 and verse number 8. And again, Salakia, a little under the weather. It's the book of Luke, chapter 1 and verse 8. And it reads, and it came to pass that while he executed the priest's office before Yahweh in the order of his course, according to the custom of the priest's office, his lot was to burn incense when he went into the temple of the Lord. Now, this is Zechariah's lot. Now, did he say, I want to do the burnt offerings? Or did he go in there and he burnt the incense? This was his lot. This is what he was commanded to do when he went in before the Lord. Right? Maybe he didn't have a lot of burning the fat, right? Giving up the meat offerings. Would he rebel and say, well, I want to do that too? Well, that's not your lot. And that's why Zacharias was blameless and without sin. Because guess what? He did what was commanded of him. Let's read that real quick in verse 5. It says, there was in the days of Herod the king of Judea a certain priest named Zacharias of the course of Abiah, and his wife was of the daughters of Aaron, and her name was Elizabeth. And they were both righteous before Yahweh, walking in all the commandments and ordinances of the Lord, blameless. So Zechariah was blameless. Again, Slakia. Because he did what? He did what the Lord commanded of him, what the Lord gave to him, which was his lot. He burned the incense unto the Lord when he went into the temple. That's what was commanded of him, right? Doesn't say anything more, don't say anything less. He did his duty. He didn't look and say, I wanted to be the high priest. I want to give an atonement for the sins of the people and going to the Lord year by year. He didn't do that, right? So we have to know our role and play our role as Zacharias did. Doesn't it say in Romans 15:4 that the things were written aforetime for our learning? This is for our learning. Knowing that Zacharias was blameless and that he did his role without fail. He didn't, there's no account of him wanting to be the highest of the highest, man. Right? There's no account of him. He's a wanting to be the damn high priest, man. Being the big shot, right? The the worldly saying, you want to be the head, you know what in charge, right? We have to work our work, be times, man, and focus on our walk, right? Get this real quick. Matthew chapter 25 and verse number 15. It says, and unto one he gave 5 talents, to another 2, and to another 1, to every man according to his several ability, and straightway took his journey. So, and the Lord gives certain talents. He may give 5 to one, 2 to another, 1 to another. But guess what? He gives according to every man his several ability. It's a unique ability the Lord gives to every man. Some men have more abilities than others. Some men may be able to read, teach, break down prophecy, exhortate, and counsel. Some men only may be able to read and teach. Some men may be only able to read. Some men able only to hold post, be a watchman on a flyer mission, right? But guess what? The Lord has given you according to your several ability. The Lord knows what you can handle and what you can't. So if you're trying to go after things and desire things that you can't handle, guess what? It'll overthrow you, right? You're looking at this like, damn, this brother do 10 videos a day, right? He worked 14 hours. He came home. He wrote a lesson. He exhortated the congregation. He taught his household. Brother, you can't do all that. You work 8 hours a day, right? You break up your lessons throughout the week, right? You're trying to teach your family the meat and the wine. Brother, you don't know that yet, right? So you have to do what is according to what the Lord has given you. And that doesn't mean don't strive to go above and beyond to do extra stuff, but don't overthrow yourself in the process. Don't it's ways to gradually build yourself up to certain things to where you reach that threshold to where this is what I can sustain, this is what I can handle, right? Say you're reading 3 chapters a day, you see a brother reading 7. Well, maybe you don't just hop into 7. Maybe you go to 4. You see how 4 works out for you, how it is in your time management, you build up to 5, right? Maybe 5 is all you can handle to fit into your time of studying and reading daily while teaching your family, right? This brother may not have a family. He has an abundance of time on his hand. He can do that, right? So we have to be circumspect in the things that we're doing, right? Because it's very dangerous to lose your focus in this walk, right? Let's go to the book of Matthew, chapter 14, and verse number 28. It's the book of Matthew, chapter 14, and verse number 28. And Peter answered him and said, Lord, if it be thou, bid me come unto thee on the water. So we all know this account right? When Peter saw the Lord in the water, walking on water, and he said, Lord, if it be thou, hey, bid me to come out there with you, right? Verse 29. And he said, come. And when Peter was come down out of the ship, he walked on the water to go to Yahushua. But when he saw the wind boisterous, he was afraid. And beginning to sink, he cried, saying, Lord, save me. So when Peter saw the boisterous wind, guess what? When he took his eyes off the Lord, because the wind has been boisterous. It didn't just start up right when he got onto the water, right when he took a few steps. Then the wind became an uproar. No, the wind was already roaring. It was already boisterous. But guess what? He was focused on the Lord. So all the distractions around him, things to the left, things to the right, it didn't matter, right? He had his focus straightway on the Lord. So he was fully persuaded, all confidence, right? It was as he was walking on dry land, coming to the Lord, right? Let me get this real quick. In the book of Matthew, chapter 7. And verse number 13. Because this is what it's like. It's like the gate to heaven, man. It says, enter ye in at the straight gate, for wide is the gate, broad is the way that leadeth to destruction, and many there be which go in thereat, because straight is the gate and narrow is the way. So this road is narrow, right? You're walking on a tightrope, basically. You look to the left, you lose your foot and you lose your balance. You fall. And that's what Peter did, right? He took his eyes off the Lord, because the way to enter in at this gate, right, into everlasting life, you can't look at the things around you. You can't look at the men to the left of you. You can't look at the women to the right of you. You have to focus straightway on the Lord, right? It says that in Matthew 6 and 33. Again, Salakia. It says, but seek ye first the kingdom of Yahweh and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you. So first and foremost, you have to seek the kingdom. Can't seek anything else, right? And that's taking your eyes off it. So it says, but when he saw the boisterous winds, but back in Matthew 14, and verse 30, but when he saw the boisterous wind, he was afraid, and beginning to sink, he cried, saying, Lord, save me. So if you'd have never took your eyes off the Lord, you would have made that walk. But hey, we know a just man falls 7 times, right? So we're not calling Peter wicked for taking his eyes off the Lord, but this is a reminder to us all that Peter, even being the rock of the church, fell, right? And guess what? But he got back up. But this is an example for us. When you take your eyes off, this is what happened to you. You start drinking. I start drowning, Salakia, going back into the world, slipping and falling little by little. And we don't want that to happen, right? Let's go to the book of Hebrews, chapter 12, and verse number 1. Salakia. It's the book of Hebrews, chapter 12, and verse number 1. It says, wherefore, seeing we also are compassed about with so great a cloud of witnesses, let us lay aside every weight and the sin which doeth so easily beset us. And let us run with patience the race that is set before us. So I want to hearken on something. It says, let us lay aside every weight, right? So you have to lay aside all the things that are heavy unto you, right? And it says, the sin which doeth easily beset us, you have to lay that aside too. And let us run with patience the race that is set before us. What is that? I don't know if anybody's ever ran a track, right? Or just running in general, right? Any sports. When you're running, you're focusing on that straight line, right? If you look to the left or to the right, you look behind you, what's bound to happen? You slow down, right? Your focus is lost. We seen that with Peter. And guess what? You fall. We seen that with Peter as well. But these are things that really happen in football. When people look behind them, look to the right, guess what? They usually end up tripping up, right? And falling. In track, you don't see people looking around when they're running 100-meter. You see a full-out sprint and them focused on what? The finish line. Whether they're behind a person or whether they're in first place. You don't see the man in first place checking back for second place. You see him keeping his eyes on the finish line to what? He finished his course. Right? Like Paul said, you have to keep your eyes focused on the Lord until it's done. Not until you're right at the finish line, then you look back and you get passed up. Because your time slowed down by a fraction. Right? This race is about the little things. Because the little things add up. Right? I'm going to read verse 2. Looking unto Yahushua, the author and the finisher of our faith. So this is what we have to be looking unto. Yahushua, right? Who, for the joy that was set before him, endured the cross, despising the shame, and is set down at the right hand of the throne of Yahweh. Right? So we have to look unto them. You don't look unto man. You look unto Yahushua. Right? Yahushua left us that example of how we should run, how we should endure this race, right? Brothers actually brought this out last night. I want to get this quick account because all the things that the Lord did, they're too great to behold in this book. And we know that Yahushua ministry wasn't that long. Right, the things and the miracles that he was doing, it wasn't for a long period of time. But guess what? He did an abundance of them. Right, he worked so much day and night that it says all the things that that he did. Greatly paraphrased. Let me see if I can find it. Slack, bear with me for a second. Lord willing, it come at me. But it says all the things that he did, all the books in the world wouldn't even be able to behold all the things that the Lord did because he did that many wondrous works. You know how much you had to be working in a short amount of period of time that the Lord was to have all these works that can't be accounted for, that couldn't be summed up in these books. The Lord never stopped working. He was working from the time of the sun up to the sun down. And that's the example that we have to follow because he was perfect. He was without spot. He was without blame. He was without sin. Men go off. Women go off. So we have to model our walk at the Yahushua, right? And that should be the person that we're striving after, the person that we're looking after, because that's what's going to get us that everlasting life. Men can fall out the truth. Women can fall out the truth, right? Hey, but the Lord will never misguide us or mislead us, right? Let's go to the book of 1 Samuel, chapter 8, and verse number 6, and see what happens when men decide to look at other men, right? When you decide to take your eyes off the prize, as the world would say. This is the book of 1 Samuel, chapter 8, and verse number 6. It says, but the thing displeased Samuel when they said, give us a king to judge us. And Sam, I don't think that's what I want. Salakia. I made 1 second, Samuel. Let me see this real quick. I went at 18, Salakia. 1 Samuel 18 and 6. It says, and it came to pass as they came when David was returned from the slaughter of the Philistines that the women came out of all the cities of Israel, singing and dancing to meet King Saul with tarbets, with joy, and with instruments of music. And the women answered one another as they played and said, Saul had slain his thousands, and David his 10,000s. And Saul was very wroth, and the saying displeased him. Right? So the women were making a song unto David and Saul. David had slain his 10,000s, and Saul had slain his thousands. Now, what righteous man is going to get wroth because you guys won a war, because you guys have prevailed against your enemies? One man may have slain more enemies than you, but guess what? What's the goal? Was the goal for you to be exalted? Was the goal for thousands of men to die? But guess what? You came out with the most bodies, but you lost a lot of men. Would that been okay? Right? So we see the evil spirit that can come from looking on other men's accomplishments. It says, and Saul was very wroth, and the saying displeased him, and he said, they have ascribed unto David 10,000s, and to me they have ascribed but thousands. And what can he have more but the kingdom? Right? So it's the wicked thought that popped into his head. He think that David challenged him for the seat, right? And that's spiritual, because we know what happened. But guess what? When you're, for one, Saul's the king. He had everything, right? This is a petty matter to want a man to ascribe. You just have to be great in everything, right? History has to write it as you being the most mightiest. Nobody's better than you to death. Well, guess what? You're going to get overthrown. Somebody's better than you in some category. The Lord didn't make the Lord did make a perfect man, Yahushua, right? He's the best there is, right? You see the damn meter, stamina, the attribute little bar thing, it's maxed out for him. Men, on the other hand, we're not like that. You have certain gifts and certain talents that the Lord has given you, right? And we have to be content with that. So Saul wasn't. And he had an evil eye towards David because of that, right? And we keep reading. And Saul eyed David from that day forward, because he did a wondrous thing for the people, for the Lord. You eyed your brother because he slayed more men on the battlefield than you. How wicked is that? Because you were focused on another man's achievements rather than what you achieved. How mighty is it to have slayed 1,000 Philistines nonetheless, right? To go out to battle and to make it back alive. You weren't focused on the achievements that you made. So guess what? Like we read earlier, these things won't be pleasing unto you because you're trying to please in the sight of other people rather than the Lord, right? Let's go to the book of 2 Chronicles, right? Let's lock it. Let's go to the book of 2 Chronicles. Chapter 26 and verse number 14. It's the book of 2 Chronicles, chapter 26 and verse number 14. Because now this account right here that we're about to go into is trying to do lots that the Lord didn't give to you. So again, you have to focus on the things and stay focused on this walk that the Lord has given you. This is 2 Chronicles 26 and 14. And Uzziah prepared for them throughout all the hosts shields and spears and helmets and harbigans and bows and slings to cast stones. And he made in Jerusalem engines invented by cunning men to be on the towers and upon the bulwarks to shoot arrows and great stones withal. And his name spread far abroad, for he was marvelously helped till he was strong. So Uzziah did a great thing in fortifying the city, fortifying Jerusalem, fortifying the walls, right? And he was marvelously helped until he became strong, right? But when he was strong, his heart was lifted up to his destruction. For he transgressed against the Lord, his God, and went into the temple of the Lord to burn incense upon the altar of incense. And this is not his lot. This is not his duty, right? And Azariah the priest went in after him, right? This is a priest's duty. And with him 80 priests of the Lord that were valiant men. So 80 priests, valiant men of the Lord, went in after him. And we don't give a damn if you're the king, man. This is things that you ought not do. It says, and they withstood Uzziah the king, and said unto him, it appertaineth not unto thee, Uzziah, to burn incense to the Lord, but to the priests, the sons of Aaron. So, hey, this thing isn't for you. This is for the sons of Aaron. The Lord didn't give you this ordinance. So, by you doing this, you're in sin. You're going against the Most High. You're faming yourself to be valiant, and you just want to do everything. The Lord is giving you a little knowledge and a little wisdom, and you think you need to be general, right? Senior officer. Brother, you just became a soldier. You cut one Christian up, right? And now you fame yourself for another title. But it's not your lot, right? It says to burn incense unto the Lord, but the priests, the sons of Aaron, that are consecrated to burn incense, go out of the sanctuary, for thou hast trespassed, neither shall it be for thine honor from the Lord. So the Lord God. So the thing that you're about to do isn't for honor. You may think it is in your own conceit, but guess what? This is not for honor. It's really for your destruction if you do this, right? Then Uzziah was wroth and had a censer in his hand to burn incense. So he had a damn censer in his hand. Like, what you gonna do about it? I'm gonna burn it anyway. Pride. He got puffed up in his own conceit, right? Because the Lord was with him and making these mighty things to fortify Jerusalem, right? So he's thinking that he can do whatever because the Lord's with him. Well, we seen how that turned out for Saul, right? We're going to see how it turned out for Uzziah as well. Then Uzziah was wroth and had a censer in his hand to burn incense. And while he was wroth with the priests, the leprosy even rose up in his forehead before the priests in the house of the Lord from beside the incense altar. And nobody with lepers can enter into the temple, right? Maimed, and anything like that, wounded in the stone. You can't come into the temple, right? And Azariah and the chief priest and all the priests looked upon him, and behold, he was leprous in his forehead, and they thrust him out thence. Yeah, himself hasted also to go out because the Lord had smitten him, right? Hey, so Azariah and the 80 valiant Levite men, and they thrust him the hell out. You got to go. You got to get from around here, man. You're defiling things. You're making things unclean. The Lord has marked you. You got to get the hell out of here, right? And that's what the Lord will do to you. He will overthrow you for trying to do things in lots that he hasn't given unto you, right? We're going to keep going. And Uzziah the king was a leopard unto the day of his death. They said the Lord will judge you unto the day of your death, man. For being rebellious, for having a covetous spirit, and doing things that the Lord didn't command you to do. Right? So take this walk as your own walk. Right? Focus on Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Right? Focus on the kingdom, the things that are in front of you. Right? Let me get the book of Philippians. We'll wind down here shortly. It's the book of Philippians, chapter 3, and verse number 13. And it reads, Brethren, I count not myself to apprehend, but this one thing I do, forgetting those things which are behind, and reaching forth unto those things which are before. So, Paul is saying, forget the things which are behind you. Forget all the distractions that's to the left and to the right, and focus on what's in front of you, which we know is the kingdom, which we know is Yahweh Yahushua. Focus on those things, right? And reaching forth unto the things that are before you. Because this is what's going to get us saved. You can't look to your left or to your right. You're going to end up tripping, man. Falling and eating concrete. And you may not get back up, right? So keep your eyes on the prize. Stay focused, right? Get this real quick in the book of Matthew. Chapter 20 and verse number 1. It says, for the kingdom of heaven is like unto a man that is a householder, which went out early in the morning to hire laborers into his vineyard. And when he had agreed with the laborers for a penny a day, he sent them into the vineyard. And he went out about the third hour and saw the others standing idle in the marketplace. And he said unto them, go ye also into the vineyard, and whatsoever is right, I will give you. And they went their way, right? So, the owner of this vineyard, he went out, hour by hour, gathering people. And guess what? We don't want to read this whole account. I'm going to skip down a little bit, but, he went out, until, the day was almost spent, right? We're going to go down to verse 6. And about the 11th hour, he went out and found others standing idle and said unto them, why stand ye here all day idle? So these men were standing here all day. The 11th hour, the day is almost over. It says, then he said unto him, because no man hath hired us, he say unto them, go ye into the vineyard, and whatsoever is right, that ye shall receive. So when the even was come, the Lord of the vineyard saith unto his steward, call the laborers and give them their hire, beginning from the last to the first. And when they came, and when they came that were hired about the 11th hour, they received every man a penny. But when the first came, they supposed that they should have received more, and they likewise received every man a penny. So guess what? Whether the man that puts in the most work, right, or it's a man that was given his lot to just do what some men account as minimal, right? Showing up to camp on time, right? Exhortating, teaching your family, right? These are basic things that we have to do. Some men may say, well why do we get the same reward? Well, the Lord, he loves consistency, right? And people that do the lot that they're given, right? And again, that doesn't mean do the bare minimum, right? You strive to do as much as you can do and as much as your spirit can handle, right? But guess what? At the end of the day, we're all receiving that penny, right? Lord willing, right? It's for the elect and the 1/3, right? But we pray to receive that penny, right? That and we all may be counted worthy. So the Lord is looking for men that's sincere, right? Not wanting to gain a name for themselves, staying diligent, right? Abounding in the work that the Lord has given them, focusing on their labor, right? And then you're going to receive that penny the same way the man that may have put in 40 videos a day, right? So, but with that, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto the Most High God Yahweh by Shema Mashiach, woman like Yahushai, right? Remember, hey, this is your walk. Stay focused. Try to receive that penny that the Lord has promised unto those faithful servants, those workers, right? And do everything that you can do to make your calling and election sure. Not looking to the left, not looking to the right, but seeking the kingdom in Yahweh Yahushai. Right, with that, shalom.